Hello everyone, welcome to the post-match review. Manchester United 2, Aston Villa 0. One game for me, at least, I think signifies we need a striker. My God, that was I don't know if you say painful, because we actually played quite good football, but when it gets to the attacking phase in the important areas of the pitch, it was painful for quite a while. But nonetheless, 2 goals, clean sheet is not what anyone expected at all from this game. But I have to admit, Sam, I'm still annoyed. Like, where was this performance in the final? Bunch of bluffers, these lot, aren't they?
That was going to be my opening point. That yeah, we've won, and yeah, it was a good performance. But my reaction was the same as yours. Like, bunch of light switch fucking players in it.
Yeah.
The pressure's on, they switch off and hide in the dark and can't fucking bother to perform. Oh, pressure's off, nothing to play for. Switch the light on, we'll play around. They're the people who say it's a system, the manager's got it wrong, the tactics are wrong. No, it's the fucking players. They show up when it's convenient, and they show up and they can play the system, because you saw that today. They played it perfectly. That's how Amorim likes to play. And like you said, if we had a striker, we probably got 3-0 within about half an hour. But we didn't. We have Rasmus Højlund. So it's on the players, this ain't on the manager. This is the fucking players. And this is why a bunch of them are fucking getting out the door, because they can't handle pressure.
When the pressure's off, they perform. You know, it's the last day. It's at Old Trafford. Villa didn't turn up. You got a few players leaving. A couple of nice favours here or there. It's all nicey nice.
Yeah.
That if you could perform at that level, and you didn't do it in a European final against Tottenham, that performance means nothing to me personally. I know people want to be positive and have a reaction and be like, oh, well, at least we saved the season and da-da-da. Nah, the light switch analogy is absolutely perfect. Just, you know, it's last day. We've got nothing to lose. Let's just go out and play. No, you play like that week in, week out. That's how it fucking should be. Ridiculous. We've got some big events to discuss, at least. I mean, it wasn't a 0-0 without any kind of boring action.
Not boring. It wasn't boring.
No,
was
not boring at all,
boring
by any stretch of the imagination. Let's start with the Martinez red card, Sam. Just give us your initial thoughts on that when it all kicked off.
Was he practicing for his career after Aston Villa in the WWE? Like, what was he doing? Just, it was halfway between a spear, a clothesline from hell, and a fucking ice hockey body check.
Yeah.
Like,
we needed JR on commentary for that one, didn't we?
Yeah. Just, oh my God, he's taking his head off.
He's got a family. My God.
Like, what was he doing? What was his plan?
Crazy.
What was his plan? Like, I don't get what his plan was, because Højlund had knocked the ball away before he was even next to him.
Yeah.
So I don't know what his plan was when he got there. Like, baffling. Yeah. Straight red card. You can't do that as a goalkeeper. You can't rush out, A, not win the ball, and then B, absolutely clatter a player like you're tackling him in rugby. Like, absolutely ridiculous, that. So fucking ridiculous. I cannot believe it. I don't know what he was thinking. I really don't. I don't.
But the thing is about that as well, I don't think we necessarily won the game because of that, because even the first half, I felt like we was the far superior team. They were really, really bad, weren't they?
For a team that had to win to get into Champions League football, they weren't playing like it. They were the team playing like they finished 16th and were playing for nothing, and we were the team that were playing for Champions League spot. It flipped around completely. I just didn't understand. There was no pressure from them. There was no urgency.
Sat
there was
back.
No fight. There was
when
nothing.
They did get the ball, they just lost it every time. I mean, we pressed. I thought we pressed quite well. And the thoughts in my head, I thought the first 20 minutes, because we saw it against Chelsea, didn't we? Like Mount and Ahmad starting, and the press. We're like microwave popcorn. Like, we're great for like fucking 10 minutes, and then you're picking kernels like your teeth. But I thought, okay, first 20, and then now we'll start to see Villa kind of creep back into the game. But he never really got on the front foot at all, Villa, and they had a really strong team as well, didn't they, from the start?
Yeah, like they had no major injury. I know Tielemans was on the bench and came on later, but apart from that, there was no major injuries in that team. Like, Watkins is fit. Asensio was playing. I know he came off my team. Rodgers was in there. Kamara was in there. Like, McGinn. Like, their whole first team was there. Like, they weren't suffering massive injuries. So, yeah, there was no urgency. There was no push. Like, nothing. It was baffling me, the amount of space and time that we had on the ball. Like, I didn't get it at all. Like, it was so weird from Villa. Really weird.
Yeah, I think the spotlight is definitely, I mean, people could talk about end of season and players leaving, but the spotlight is definitely on the goalkeepers in this one. That first one from Martinez that we touched on, rushing out. I mean, I don't know who the player is that passed it back. I don't know if you can remember, but he absolutely chucked him under a bus, didn't he? That the weight of that. Yeah. So I think he's just kind of
Matty
Is it?
Cash.
I think
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
kind of like rushed out, and then without thinking, and then he's got to it and gone, oh shit, he's
I'm
got
not
the
getting
ball first.
Yeah, I'm not getting it.
Still a bit, yeah. And to be honest, do you think Rasmus would have finished that if he went past him? I think he would have
Probably
missed
not.
it.
Probably not. He probably would have missed it. But in the rules, you denied a goal scoring opportunity, and
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that I'm with.
I can't remember who the defender was. Was it
Paul Torres? Was it?
Yeah, yeah. I don't know if he gets back in time.
Interesting.
So
yeah,
but yeah, if Raz, I think he misses it. Like,
probably
because the amount of chances he had in this game to score was biblical, wasn't it? Absolutely biblical.
Yeah, it was getting frustrating, wasn't it? And he actually scored, don't forget, which was offside. It was pretty close offside. He weren't like he was miles off, but yeah, it just wasn't going for him at all.
Could have just touched. I actually felt sorry for him. Like, I know we've been annoyed with him, but I actually felt sorry for him because the amount of chances that were coming his way, and it just wasn't working for him. It just wasn't. When it's not going your way, it absolutely pisses on you, doesn't it? Like, his touch was off at times. He didn't get it square. Like, there was a ball across from Dallo that was behind him. If it's in front of him, it's a tap in. There was so many opportunities where you're like, when it's not going for you, it's not going for you, is it? The poor fucking guy, man. Like, honestly, I felt bad for him.
The only thing missing from him being super unlucky was just like a bird shitting on him walking off the pitch. That's the only way he could have been more unlucky than Rasmus. Interesting thoughts as we head into the summer with him. But we also had another goalkeeper moment, which again, people who are just joining, get your comments in on this because I want to hear people's opinions. That is dodgy from Bayandere, innit? Like, what on earth is he doing there? Not picking the ball up, playing fucking paddle. I don't know what he's doing, but that goal shouldn't have been ruled out. I don't think.
No, and apparently the reason why it was is because the referee blew the whistle before he put it in the net.
Yeah.
So he blew the whistle once he got on the ball. So if he hadn't blown the whistle, then they would have allowed it. Yeah. But according to the rules, because he blew the whistle,
isn't it? You think about Champions League football, riding on that.
It is, but like that's legitimately what the rule is. Unfortunately for Aston Villa, like that's what it is. But yeah, for the people going, oh, Bayandere deserves a chance. Nah, he's not the one.
I don't think anyone's saying that now, to be honest with you. I think he's had enough.
He cannot be our goalkeeper. Like, he can't.
Both of them need to go, don't they?
Both of them, both of them can fuck off, but he's not good enough either. Like, he's just not.
It's just weird, though. Like, that's basic stuff. I mean, just trap the ball. One of the theories or one of the other angles I heard on it was because he said, oh, he's technically in control of the ball because it's between his hands, but his hands aren't really touching it. He bounced off like his left palm. So in that theory, in my mind, that's still in play, which is why Rodgers goes for it.
Isn't there a rule unless he's got both hands on it?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, because when I've played, like, if the goalkeeper's got one hand, you can still kick it away from him. But if he's got two hands on it, you can't. So, yeah, I'm not sure. Like, they change the rules all the time, so I don't fucking know anymore.
Yeah, you think about that shaky moment. There was one that he did, was it at Newcastle as well, I think, Bayandere. And then you think about Tottenham. You think about Onana and the mistakes he makes. I mean, fucking hell, we're all talking about we need a striker, which we absolutely do. That was evident today. But fucking hell, we need a goalkeeper as well. Like a really, really good goalkeeper. And I just don't know if the budget stretched for it. But there's plenty to talk about. I want to get into the comment section because there's quite a few comments in there. Please do smash like on the video if you think the season's been absolutely dog shit. My Damn United says, thoughts on after-match reaction, manager's crowd address and Bruno's demeanour future. We'll get onto that. Danny saying light switch players is a great term. Tim99 saying, I'm still annoyed too. Nice speech at the end, but I'll believe it when I see it. My Damn United in the chat saying hello. Andy saying, nice speech. I trust him, just don't trust Ineos. Tim saying hello as well. Brian saying, so frustrated that we waited until the last game of the season in a game that means fuck all to play our best football. Thankfully, most of them will be gone by August. Charlie saying, why have United not played like this? I've not seen us dominate top 6 team like this in forever. Heaton should have played, and you could head the ball out of the keeper's hands before, but the rules has changed. Get De Gea back. I'm happy. You know why. Yeah, Dan said to me on the pre-match build-up, he was like, the one thing I want from today is something to happen to Martinez, the goalkeeper. And as soon as that red card happened, I was like, there you go, Dan, mate. He actually called quite a lot of things. He said Højlund, I know Højlund was offside, but he did say Højlund would score and something would happen with Martinez. So, yeah, fair play to Dan.
Brian, I don't know if you watched our preview, but I did pick Heaton. I did put him in my 11. So, yeah there you go.
Yeah. Ahmad goal was the turning screw won it. Basically said we had won this game. Great cross from Bruno. And Ahmad's got a header in his locker, hasn't he? And he scored a few for us now.
A couple of times. Yeah, he's done it a couple of times. I remember his first one where he did that celebration. Milan, he sort of
Heads it
there was
backwards,
a
doesn't it?
defender in front of him, wasn't there? And he like nods it
He
over
just
him
like
and
goes
goes
like
like,
that over him.
yeah.
Yeah.
For one of the shortest players on the pitch, he's very good in the air. Like
Yeah, he
it's
is.
bizarre. But fantastic ball from Bruno, like diagonally across the box to the back post.
I love them crosses, mate.
Maybe a defender can do better. Maybe he can, but he gives Ahmad quite a lot of space.
Yeah.
And he just nods it into the back of the net. And you're like, yeah, fantastic goal. And I thought at that point, I was like, we weren't going to score in this game. And they were going to get something. I was like, this is going to be one of those games where they win 1-0.
We said it in the chat, didn't we?
Yeah.
You could just see the narrative of this game already being written. Even when we went 1-0 up, I felt I could even see Villa just going for it now, throwing the gauntlet at it and just, you know what I mean, saying fuck it and getting a draw or something. But if you look at it for Villa now, like Newcastle lost to Everton.
Well, a draw, like I say, a draw would have gotten in the Champions League. A draw would have gotten
Unai Emery being that dressing room now would be absolutely livid because they've just played a full season, which has got them to the position where they're at and played really well, by the way. Even in the last 10 games, they've won 7 and lost 3.
And then they've just gone on the last game and gone, nah, fuck it.
Yeah, you'd be livid as a coach, wouldn't you? Like, are you joking? Against this team as well. Like, United, I don't know where we finished, actually. We're 15th now?
15th.
I thought, we've just lost to them, who've been battered by everyone for the majority of the season. Yeah. And then that decision on top of it as well from the ref has just cost them... Well, are they in the Conference League now, Villa? Or Europa?
Europa League, Forest
Europa
in the
League.
Conference.
And then Chelsea, Newcastle,
in the Champions
City,
League.
and Champions League.
So that record you said in the preview where they lost their last how many games in the final game of the season? Is it 20?
1 out of 30 or something, I think it was.
That record's continued, hasn't it?
Yeah.
That record's continued.
Records are there for a reason. Yeah. But yeah, Ahmad gets the goal. Finishes off a decent season for him. I'll get his statistics up in a moment, but scores a header. And then a couple of situations where players were going off, and the one thing that kept getting mentioned was the Malaysia tour and Hong Kong. People saying they're trying to avoid that. Majari goes off though. You can't really question that of him, can you? He's just been running to the ground. I don't even know why he started the game.
I know. I saw him in the starting lineup. I was like, why? Why is he playing? Like, there's no point in playing him. Like, there's nothing to play for. It's ridiculous. Yeah. And then he goes off, and you're like, it's a good job he got injured now and not like halfway through the season because how important he's been. But I think Dan put in the chat, is it 48 games he played for us this season?
Yeah,
like,
unsurprised.
FA Cup, Europa League, and Premier League.
The most he's ever played in a single season.
I'm surprised he's not fucked himself already. Like, I'm surprised he lasted that long, to be honest with you. Yeah. But hey, if he gets a rest, you don't have to go on this postseason tour and he gets a rest for the summer. Yeah. I'm all right with that. I'm fine with that.
Dallo came on as well and then went straight back off because he got injured as well. So you've got Xerxes, Dallo, DeLite. You've got quite a few players.
Evan went off, didn't he, as well? Like, he got injured. And then he played on for a bit, but then they ended up taking him off, which...
Because he looked really good. He had a moment in the 20th minute, I think it was. You know, when they got him behind with Watkins.
Yeah,
I think it was. No, not Heaven. I mean, Heaven, he got a last-ditch tackle.
Well,
it was like the 20th minute.
There was a thing, I think, at some point early in the game, and he goes to back heel it and fucks it, and he puts it right on but then has to get back and like make up for it. And I was like, oh no, he's gonna have one of those games. But then he made up for it, and he was excellent after that. He was fantastic. So
I really like Heaven. So I hope it's not like a reoccurring thing, because it'd be a shame that, especially with the youngsters that we want to promote as well. And then we have the situation where Bruno's already got an assist, so he's got 20 assists for the season. We get a penalty. Ahmad wins it. I think Matson stands on the back of his ankle, doesn't he, in the box?
Just the ball was not in the box, but Ahmad was in the box, so it's a penalty.
So they give a penalty naturally, and you think, okay, Bruno, 20 goals, 20 assists. We can see this here, and doing the captain thing, gives it to Christian Eriksen, and Eriksen played actually all right, to be fair, at the bar a couple of times as well, didn't
he? Yeah. He got the free kick that just went over like the bar, like skimmed the top of the net as well. Yeah. He had a decent sort of little cameo for his last time at United and got a penalty. Like you said, that whole nicey feeling. Oh, it's the last game. Give it to Christian. Let him have a goal and stuff. Yeah. I thought, give it to Chino. Get him to score his first goal at Old Trafford, man. Like,
he could have gone to anyone. I think Evans was being discussed at one point, and you saw him because Evans was miming. He was going, "No, I'm not. You take it, Christian. I'm not taking it." Yeah. And then Eriksen was like, all right. Even Eriksen looked like he felt a little bit awkward taking it, but at least he got the goal and kind of sealed the win for us, didn't he? So, I'm happy that they're going, to be honest with you. I know it's nice to send them off, but Lindelof, Evans, Eriksen, the wages they're going to free up Be a good amount. You're talking like £300,000 a week almost. If you promote youngsters into their position, like Fredrickson, Heaven, and whoever else, then you can start to operate a bit more.
Look at it as well. Obviously, we had the breaking news the other day. Garnacho has been told to find another club.
Yeah, that's
so
60
there's
million.
another sort of like 60 million. And then Alice Talks Football, who we're gonna try and get on the show over the summer. She dropped a thing as well saying Onana has been told to leave the club as well based on performance. So there's another one there. Like obviously he was not in the squad today, not even on the bench. So there's that.
I mean, the fans would get behind that, wouldn't they? They would.
Yeah.
And it's not as if that's something you can do mid-season, because you need a goalkeeper at the end of the day, and you see what Bayern is like. So it would make sense in the season.
If you destroy his confidence halfway through the season, then you're just like, you're basically setting yourself up, aren't you, for failure. So best to do it towards the end of the season.
But absolutely, I think he is going to be ruthless. I said to Dan in the pre-match, and we'll get into his speech in a minute. I said to Dan, and I put it in the chat earlier before, the players that he got rid of when he went to Sporting initially, 17 to 25 players, I think it was, some free agents, some whatever, but got rid of that many players. And then the season after that, he only lost once. Now, I said to it, I'm not saying that's going to happen in the Premier League, because the Premier League is much more competitive. But he did say in his speech, Sam, I told everyone a storm was coming. The storm come. Now good times are coming. If any club can survive, kind of disasters, it's Manchester United. And I thought that was very fitting from Amorim.
Yeah. No, I like it acknowledgement of the absolute shitstorm of a failure of the season that we've had, because there's no way you can avoid talking about that. Like, it just isn't. Like, you have to address it. And he addressed it. And to be fair to him, he said after 2 wins and a draw, he said a storm was coming. And people were like, I'd be fine. And then God knows, it's one of the worst storms that's ever hit Manchester in its fucking world. Like,
probably
Jesus
the worst,
Christ.
I would go as far to say. Yeah.
So, it's hopefully, we get these players out. Obviously, we spoke right at the beginning of the stream. There's players who clearly don't show up when the pressure is on and just hide and need to be getting rid of and culled out of this team. And he started it already. Ericsson, Evans, Lindelof are going. Garnacho has been told to leave. Onana's been told to leave. Rashford, Anthony, Sancho. There could be a lot more as well to go.
That's a clearance, that, isn't it? That is quite. That's like a clearance sale when you walk in to a retail store. Everyone.
You have
gone.
to do it. You have to do it. You have to get these players out, because some of these players have been here since Van Gaal and Jose and stuff. Like, you have to get these players out, because that's not the mentality you need in this team. Like, you don't need that mentality in this team. Yeah. Let's start again. Let's start afresh. Let's get this team rebuilt under Amorim. So, I'm all about it.
I think there's a slight suggestion of 4D chess from Charlie in the chat saying, do you know that red card by Martinez could lead for him to come to United, but he would be suspended for the first 3 games? Oh, yeah. I don't think he covered himself in glory, did he, Martinez, if he wants to move to Old Trafford? Jesus. James McGrogan, I'm praying this summer isn't going to be shit. Shaw just couldn't be bothered with any tours from the off. Yeah, Shaw's injured again anytime.
Is he injured again? Oh, for fuck's sake. Jesus
foot injury.
Christ.
He's out. And Xerxes out as well, because he rushed back too soon for the final. So, yeah, that doesn't surprise me either.
Can I ask you, what is Ugarte gone as well? Do you reckon?
Maybe.
He's not played a fucking minute for like the last how many games?
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird, isn't it?
Last few minutes, Eric comes on for a goodbye. Lindelof comes on for a goodbye. Like,
it was Ugarte, because he said, I saw a graphic saying he was on the bench, but then didn't you mention he said he's not in the squad?
No, when you had your first 11 up originally, he was on the 11, and then you realised he was fake and was like, okay. Yeah, he was on the bench, but he didn't come off the bench. He didn't come off the bench in the final.
Have we got another Donny situation here that we had with Tenak?
Maybe.
I'm not suggesting by any chance that he is the same level of player, but you know what I mean, innit?
Yeah, weird that, but yeah.
Best thing about that game was Ruben's speech. It brought me right back in. The parallels between us and 2020 Sporting are insane. I was thinking a double on Batiste PSG. Cracks me up that Onana is meant to be pissed off, told to leave. What a clown. There was reports, and again, these are reports, so I don't know if they're true or not, that he's annoyed about his wage not going back up because we didn't get Champions League football. That was the rumour. And if that rumour is true, it's his fucking fault.
I was going to say, Andre, do you don't want to know why you're not in the Champions League?
Yeah.
Mostly because of you, mate. Mostly because of your fault. So,
yeah, 100%. Hopefully in even more ways going forward, Rainier 21, 22, 23. I'm sure already wasn't happy about losing the 25% European competition wage bonus too. Yeah, he's just put that in there. Ugarte will stay as a squad player. I think it was 7 major players that was cleared out of. Yeah, that is mad. And that's exactly what we need. I don't think any fan would go against that, would there? I don't think if they said we're getting rid of Lindelof. Well, he's going anyway, but Lindelof, Ericsson, Evans, I don't know, fucking Anthony, about 10, 15 players. We won't. I don't think there'd be one United fan unless it's Euro, Ahmad, Bruno, or something who would go. Hold on a minute. They'd be happy for him to go, wouldn't you?
I obviously put the news up about Garnacho and we did the video and stuff, and I'd say 90% of the people who watch this channel are very intelligent and smart and switched on, know where to go. But there's a couple of idiots who are just like, this manager's fucking shit. Why is he getting rid of Garnacho? He's the best player and stuff. And he's just like, do you watch games or do you just hero worship one player and he can't do any wrong? Like, we had it with Pogba, we had it with Lingard, we've got it with Rashford. There's just always these fans who like attach themselves to one player, and no matter what he does, he can't do any wrong. And it's so weird to me. It's really weird. It's like, do you not want the team to win rather than just one player to succeed? Like, surely that's what you want. Like, strange.
Well, I mean, I've seen the debate back and forth, and I'll bring everyone else in on this as well, about the manager and the system, and I mean, it's been ongoing all season, and naturally, when United finish, 70, wherever it is, 15th, 17th, call it what you want, when it's been such a bad season, obviously the limelight goes on the manager, but he's always been behind the message that he didn't want to come in halfway through the season because of this reason. He has a principle, he has a plan, and he wants to stick to it. And again, the debates back and forth have been, well, as a coach, you should tweak things, you should make them more defensive, and so that I get to a certain point. But then it's like, how do you really instill your principles, and how do you know what players from a sample size really fit it if you don't play it on a consistent basis, right? Do you know what I mean?
Look at the way we play today. Like you said, one of our best performances of the season. It's the same system. He hasn't changed anything.
Yeah.
This is what we've been playing all season, and they've shown up. The only difference is the pressure. The pressure's off. There's no pressure on it, and they're able to play it. So that says to me, it's not the manager, it's not the tactics, it's not the formation, it's the mentality of certain players. That's what the difference is.
Yeah, I think that's a big point.
You get rid of those players. You get rid of those players. You bring in players who are mentally better, physically better, can cope with the demands. We'll see that more often than not. Week on week, we'll see that more often. Obviously, like you said, we're not expecting the Sporting thing where he only loses one game. I mean, if it happens, fucking fantastic. But I don't see it in reality. But that's why recruitment, as we've been saying, and I'm sure the people in the chat are getting sick of. Recruitment is everything this summer. Everything. It has to be correct.
I think the question I would ask everyone, if we played like that every single game, would people complain? Like, in terms of as a team? Obviously, the goals...
Entertaining. It was entertaining.
Yeah, the way we pressed from the front, the way we shifted it. Like, it was, I think within like the first 3 minutes, there was a period with Mazraoui, Ahmad, and I think it might have been Bruno or something, where they was drilling it between like triangles, but they beat the press really easily. And it's very rare to see that in United teams at times. So when you have a performance like that, people say, oh, well, Villa weren't that great or what have you, right? But considering our standards, the way we've been, if you play like that every game and you have a killer striker up top who's bagging the goals, that's a start.
Yeah.
You know?
Like, if we're playing there and we have, I don't know, Gyökeres, Osimhen, take your pick, whoever you want, up front, we're 3-0 up within 30 minutes in that game.
Yeah.
We're 3-0 up, and then that game, you just coasting for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
If we played like that against Spurs, are we Europa League champions right now? Of course we are. Of course we are. But we didn't.
That's the annoying thing, isn't it?
That's the difference, though. Mentality, physicality, and the lack of a quality striker.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
Yeah. I'm fascinated to see we push this from the academy, because I think because we didn't win the Europa League and we're not in the Champions League football, I think there is going to be kind of a bit of pressure to promote from within. And we've definitely got the talented players to do that. I'm not moaning at that. Yeah, we've seen a few who look decent.
Come in, Heaven, obviously. Hamas, potential. Tito, I don't think he's quite ready yet, but obviously very talented boy. We've still yet to see the likes of like Seki Kone, Jack Morehouse, Fletcher. There's a bunch of players we've not yet seen in this first team. Hopefully, maybe they come on the post-season tour or pre-season tour. That'd be nice.
Yeah, and obviously we'll be covering that, guys, by the way, as well. So yeah, to stay locked in, please do hit that subscribe button. We're on 14,938, so we are 62 subscribers off that landmark 15,000 subs. So if there is anyone new and you like the content, you know what to do. It takes 2 seconds. And also, just below me here on the right-hand side are all our socials. Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, but we're going to stay with you guys for kind of the next 5 minutes. Anything you want to get off your chest whatsoever, it is an open floor. Go for it, and we will discuss it. Let me read out some comments. Graham Wade, 2-0 with the help of the ref. Same old shite at Old Trafford. Old Toilet. We clearly got a Villa fan in there who's bitter. Yeah. Can't really blame him, to be honest. Just having the league means we don't need a large squad either. 16, 18 main players and get the rest from its academy. Yeah, that's an important point in it, Sam. No European football next season, so the squad won't be as stretched, which means you would expect more time on the pitch with a coach.
More time on the tactics, coaching, getting his system into not just the players that are staying, but the new players that are obviously going to arrive. And obviously injuries are going to be less because you're not playing 2 games a week.
Yeah.
So you can rest and rotate when you need to if certain players are reaching certain limits and stuff. So there's a lot of positives to it. I know we all wanted European football, we all wanted Champions League football, we wanted to win Europe. Like, of course we do. But the state we're in right now, it might be a blessing in disguise, maybe next year. It could be.
Yeah, you know, sometimes silver linings are like that, innit? For example, you've seen teams like Newcastle when they've been out of the Champions League in Europe. Forest is another one as well. Yeah, it does happen. Players are up for it when everyone is on trial. Hopefully, most of injuries are about avoiding the trip to Asia. Big up Real Red Start this channel. Everyone in the chat, always nice. From Punch.
Thank you, mate.
Big up, mate. I'm just glad I don't have to watch that front line. That's the one thing that stopped me from having any confidence. Can I just say, though, right? I know it's been given a lot of shit. Mason Mount was good again today for me. I thought he was decent, and he looks like that, a little bit extra pace. Whether he maintains that or not is a completely different conversation, and I wouldn't bet behind him staying and not getting injured. So that's the worry for me. But he was better today, which is something.
I agree. But like I said to you in our chat, he showed up. Didn't show up in the final, did he?
No.
Like you said, none of the other players did. No. So I need those players to put that performance in when there's something on the line.
Yeah.
And that's what I need to see, that performance. And until I see that, I can't trust many of these players, unfortunately.
100%. Nath saying, listeners are red. I fucking love this team. We'll never die. Love that passion. Now, we've got an interesting one here. France Mopurawa says, a final like that Europa versus Spurs should never be repeated under Ruben. Lose like that again. Fire Ruben immediately. Slightly different take there from France. Danny saying, unfortunately, not as many games means less opportunities for academy, so assume more will go on loan for minutes and hopefully come back with experience like Ahmad did. I think that's a good point. Ray saying, my final thoughts for this season is we have a coach who's kind of living in Groundhog Day in terms of the rebuild we need. Ineos can't fail him this summer. Genuinely excited by Marion and United next season with a true rebuild. Finally, always been too afraid to clean house, but now they're forced to. Was always a little poison left over for each manager. I like that saying, a little poison left over for each manager. Yeah, I think that's spot on. 21 is coming in true Jay Motti style. That's from my damn United. If I got 20 million, I'd sell Mount in a heartbeat. We need 2 strikers who know where the net is. Proud of hammering for his address to the fans. Yeah, the striker's the big one, isn't it, Sam? Who do we bring in to score goals?
Can we get one? Can we get one striker? Never mind 2. Let's just get one.
But we need 2, don't we?
We need to, but let's get 1 for a start because we haven't got one yet. So, yeah, that would be nice. It seems like Delap is the target right now, but he's going to have a choice of Chelsea and I'm sure other clubs. Newcastle,
they've just got Champions League football.
They've got Champions League football. So, yeah, it's interesting. Maybe we spend that money on another 10 or a midfielder or something and we go out and do like a free transfer, Jonathan David type thing. And I'm not a fan of his. I know you're not, but that kind of deal. Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know who we go for at this point because Delap. It seems like we all went for Delap, but I don't know where we go from that if he doesn't want to. If he wants to play,
if we can't attract Liam Delap, we really are in the fucking shit, aren't we?
Well, we are in this shit, aren't we?
I know, but that is fucking embarrassing. If Liam Delap doesn't want to come to Manchester United, it's just like, and no, I'm not going there. I'm choosing Chelsea instead. And there's nothing wrong with those clubs. Those clubs are big clubs in their own respect, but. Yeah, I do agree with Josh in the chat saying that it feels like Hoyland signings too inexperienced. Like Delap, obviously, he's had 1 season in the Premier League, only 21 years old. I agree. If he doesn't hit the ground running, there's going to be massive pressure again in there. There's going to be conversations. Why do we bring him in? He's too young, too inexperienced. La da da. You can't even really try your test with someone like a Mateta because Palace have just won the FA Cup. They're going to be in the Europa League. They've got more to offer than us as well, and they've got an exciting manager.
Yeah, and they play good football, really good football, and they got some quality players like Munoz and the forward Mateta and stuff. They got some good players, so yeah, they've got competition, man.
I don't know who we're gonna go and get. We need a killer though. I don't know. I'm trying to think of strikers off the top of my head now who come in and do a job, and I'm like, no idea. But look, we've got plenty of the summer to kind of go over that and plenty of transfer news. So make sure you turn that notification bell as well because we will be going live a lot over the summer. I'll be away next week, so I won't be on the channel, but Sam will do the odd show here and there. Yep. So yeah, make sure you tune in and stuff.
We're gonna try and spend the summer getting a bunch of guests on as well. Yeah. So the usual faces you've seen, Jay Motti, James from the Muppeteers, that kind of stuff. I'm trying to pull out of the bag a couple of surprises as well. But if you guys have got any ideas of people you'd like to see, we'll try and make it happen. We'll try and make a DM and get people on. So yeah, let us know.
100%. Music Chef, we need a winger who's similar to Antonio Valencia. Dorgu is not enough. You know what? I like what I see from Dorgu.
I like him. I think he's good. I like him. I think a lot of people are not seeing what he does well, and they think
he's rough and raw. Yeah. But there is a player there, I think.
He's 20. He's still time. He needs time, but he'll get.
And
there.
You know what? There was a moment where he put a really, really dangerous cross into the box. Like, I don't know how no one got on the end of it.
Across the 6-yard box, didn't it?
Perfect ball, and no one got on the end of it. And he's done that a few times.
If you got a striker, like you got somebody on the end of it. James McGregor saying Sporting Sam. Yeah, Nick was saying about that in the chat. We'd definitely get him on as well. Because
I think to get his perspective on what's going on in a minute, I think it'd be really important to speak to him. So yeah, we'll sort that out. But we're going to try to do like one a week throughout June and July, hopefully, as well as because it's going to be so busy with transfers and preseason as well. Yeah, it's not like we get a preseason. It's just same kind of relentless go forward Monday to Sunday pretty much. So yeah, we'll be live discussing it. What happened to the capybara, Nick?
We've had nothing to celebrate all season. That's what's happened to it.
That is it. Noise. Yeah, you can't be whipping out the capybara when you've done fuck all season. You know what I mean?
Nothing.
But as it is, at the end of the season.
Last one.
That is legendary. Legendary. Hopefully, we'll be doing that much more. Oh shit, I need to take that off the screen.
I can't see my face anymore.
Yeah, I'm just thinking. We'll be doing that much more next season when we're fucking fighting for top 4 and fighting for trophies and there's a load of good players in. Fingers crossed, but yeah.
Also, I've not sent this to you. I need to message you. I've been working on some ideas for merch for the people who've been asking about merch constantly. I'm going to get off my lazy ass and make it happen in the summer. So if you guys, you've been demanding it and then we put it up, you better fucking buy it. You've been demanding it. So please buy it if I do put it up. But yeah, there's a couple of people who need a couple of freebies as well who've been supporting this channel since day one. So I need to get some shit first. But yeah, it's coming. I promise you it's coming.
Just to put out there as well, me and Sam have mad, like off YouTube and stuff, mad busy lives with work and everything involved in there. So trying to find the time to do that stuff's mad difficult. I wish we could have the time where we just have this channel.
This is our full-time job.
Yeah.
This is our full-time job. It'd be amazing. But I've got a full-time job. Nick's got a full-time job. Right. I've got a mortgage and a house to pay for. Nick's got other things he's got to sort out at home as well. So it's so demanding, man. It's so demanding.
Yeah. But on that note, I think that's probably a good place to leave it. We're going to be live, like I said, over the next couple of weeks, so we're not going anywhere. But it is the end of the season. Players are leaving. Hopefully a new time is coming.
Season review coming.
Yeah, we've got a season review coming, definitely, where we look at all our predictions because they're just going to be absolutely mad. I mean, some of them, some of them are going to be crazy. So I can't wait to get into that with the lads. We'll probably do an After Dark at some point as well. I think that's definitely needed. So yeah, loads of different variety forms of content for everyone who's been tuning in every single day to this channel. And like Sam said with the merch and stuff as well, we will prioritize members and people who've been supporting the channel for a long time. So yeah, appreciate you all. Thank God this season is in the rearview mirror because it has been categorically the worst season ever since I've been born. For sure, it's just been absolutely terrible. So yeah, I think people are more happy and it's kind of like relief that it's ended and we haven't been relegated. Although we did pass the 40-point mark, and now it's just time to work. Time to get to work in the summer. Time to recruit the right players. Time to get rid of the right players. And hopefully we don't have a season like last season, because I don't know how much longer I can cope if it goes like that again. Honestly.
No. I need to quit football. I'll have to quit football if that happens again.
Is that Sean Dyche there that I'm hearing?
I don't know why my voice went like that.
4-4-2, long balls.
I drink nails for breakfast, lads.
Dwight McNeil. Tarkovsky.
Yeah, I can't do another season like that. I'll quit football if I have to do another season like that. I can't do it.
If we do another season like that, we'll be bringing in fucking Sean Dyche to save us from relegation. So, yeah. All right. Thank you to all of you legends who tune in consistently. Like we said, we will still be active, so hopefully you guys keep tuning in and you enjoy the content. And the channel's growing by the day, man. Like we're saying, we're very close to 15,000. It's been a couple of years with the journey, but yeah, it's really nice to have all of you along with us on it, and everyone who else has been on the channel as well: Shreyas, Dan, Aaron, Chive, Adam, etc. Yeah, appreciate you all. And me and Sam, unless you want to say anything else, Sam, we can head off.
Peace out. We'll see you on the season review.